Welcome back, Super Friends and Super Family. I am Thor, your friendly neighborhood god of thunder. Today, I'm reacting to Season 3, Episode 11 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's see, Episode 10. It was tough. We got a little glimpse into the real mental struggles that Angel is dealing with. We got some really emotional moments from Buffy, and we kind of have the aftermath of still the big rift in the friendship with Xander, Willow, Oz, Cordelia. So we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of emotions. But what was really cool about last episode is, we had a few nice moments. We had Faith coming over for dinner, hanging out with Buffy and her family. That was really sweet. And of course, we had snow. We had snow in Sunnydale, which was like a nice Christmas miracle, and we got a moment with Buffy and Angel. Despite the impossibility of their romance and their relationship, they had that moment of walking together hand in hand, which is sweet. And Angel didn't, kill himself, which was a good relief for me. But yeah, we'll see. I'm very interested to see where we're going to continue to go. Like I said, I'm slowly becoming resigned to the fact that Buffy and Angel can't have a future, even though that's something I really thought sense about. I want to say halfway through season 2 is about when I started predicting that, but I feel like I've known that for a while. But this season in particular, Angel is just nonstop challenges and suffering for him. So I am hoping that not even for them to get back together and make something work, but I'm hoping for something good to happen on Angel's side. And that's something else too. Let me ask the audience, because I'm sure there's some different opinions and different perspectives on this. I'm definitely, like I've said several times, with my understanding of Angelus and Angel and how that all works, I really don't blame Angel whatsoever for the horrible actions. But I'm really rooting for Angel's happiness, but I'm sure there are people watching this reaction who don't feel that way. So let me know in the comments, if you don't care for Angel or you do blame him in some way and why. That would just be interesting for me to read. Maybe there's something I haven't considered that would make me change my mind. But anyways, I'm excited to see what we're in store for this episode. Haven't watched Buffy in about a week or so I'm just excited to it's always a fun reaction to film when I get to do Buffy. So excited to do that. As always, if you want to watch the full reaction with me, that's up on Patreon. Next week's reaction is up, and I'm also trying to get ahead on Buffy, so I might have a bunch of Buffy episodes. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I might have a lot of them up right now on Patreon. But for now, let's just get into the reaction. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 3, Episode 11. Joyce, what are you doing here?
Well,
Oh, this is not a field trip, Mom.
The slaying is kind of an alone thing.
But it's such a big part of your life, and I'd like to understand it.
Yeah, but maybe give her a little heads up. I swear, nothing better happened to Joyce this episode.
Buffy, he's over here!
Oh no.
Stay!
Stay like a dog. She's like, stay, boy, stay. And of course she's not going to. What are you going to discover, Joyce? What? Is it vampires that killed them? That's going to be meaningful. There are no just random tattoos in the Buffy universe, right? This will be cool, though. I hope this episode really focuses on Joyce, because I like her as a character a lot, and her relationship with Buffy is so intriguing. Look, we gotta give Joyce some credit. She has come a long way with her acceptance and, just being okay with Buffy putting herself in danger and living as the Slayer. They called the police for this? I mean, if it's regular murder, they're like, yes, the police should be involved, but we know how corrupt they are and how much the mayor controls them. I'm concerned. I like that technique of showing the bodies as they timed out to the flashing of the photographers in black and white.
Did you see them? They're so tiny.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Who could do something like this?
There's a lot of monsters in Sunnydale that are capable of this.
Because I'm gonna find whatever did it.
I guess. It's just you can't.
Why not?
You can't make it right.
Okay, yeah.
I know.
It's crazy, right? It's like Joyce is the child and Buffy is the mom because Joyce is so new to this life of violence and death, whereas Buffy, it's like just another day in the life.
It wasn't the vampire.
No, there are no marks.
Okay.
Wait. I mean, there was a mark, a symbol.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be relevant. Let's investigate there.
A group of human beings. Someone with a soul did this.
Maybe the mayor.
And while you're looking for the meaning of that symbol thingy, could you also find a loophole in that Slayers don't kill people rule?
Oh, you can kill evil people, can't you? I mean, you can bring them to justice at the very least.
I wonder if you're not letting yourself get a shade personal because of your mother's involvement.
Oh, it's completely personal.
She doesn't even try to deny it.
Giles, find me the people that did this.
But you have to be careful. You don't want to get too emotionally invested and not use your head. That's dangerous, and you might make a mistake.
So a burrito. This is a burrito.
This has got to be so awkward for the two of them. Like, I mean, how could you ever be friends with someone who like betrays you in that way? And
God, your mom would actually take the time to do that with you? That really wasn't the point of...
no, but still, I mean, some people aren't so lucky to have parents who care.
Who's wigging?
What is she doing here? She's showing up everywhere now.
You know, because of what happened.
Oh, it's so awful. I had bad dreams about it all
Oh,
night.
Joyce. Poor Joyce.
He thinks it might be something ritual. Called. But he's still looking. In the meantime, we're gonna... And you know, keep an eye out.
Don't talk about this too openly.
Like witches.
Willow.
Sorry, fun, too much.
Don't get too nervous there.
I mean, Buff's mom was just starting to accept the whole Slayer thing, and now she's going to be double free.
Or maybe she'll have more of an understanding of what her daughter goes through.
Are your friends going to help with the investigation too?
Mom, I really think maybe this isn't the best...
I agree. It's not.
Are you embarrassed to be hanging out with your mother?
It's not as simple as that. Come on.
Giles can always use help in the
I
library.
called everybody I know in town. Told them about the dead children. They're all just as upset as I am.
You called everybody that you know?
And they called all their
This
friends.
is not the way you help, Joyce. Come on.
For tonight, for City Hall. The mayor is even...
Oh, I'm telling you, the mayor's behind it. The mayor is behind the killings.
A lot of times when we're working on stuff like this, we like to keep the number of people that know about it.
I mean, how could Joyce not know that? Like, come on. I mean, it is good to get the community involved and concerned, but...
Standing right in front of me right this
We're gonna see... That's Willow's mom?
Oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. Oh, hi, Bunny.
Did she call her Bunny?
Oh, you cut off your hair. That's a new look. Yeah, it's a sudden whim I had in August. Hello, Joyce.
Sheila, I'm glad you could...
Sheila, okay.
Quite a turnout you have here.
Oh, well, it's not just me, but thank you.
Is this all from, like, that one night? Or are they gonna have a thing, like, actually? Even when they're not crazy?
There's a rumor going around, Mr. Giles.
Rumor about her?
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I think Joyce and Giles are gonna become a pair. That's crazy.
Calling themselves witches are responsible for this brutal crime.
Indeed. How strange.
Yes, strange. Witches.
Willow has the worst, like, lying cover-up of all time.
Are we starting?
Our good, trustworthy man to lead us all to a better place.
He'll do something about this.
Joyce, he will do something horrible.
Seeing you all here proves what a caring community Sunnydale is. Now, sure, we've had our share of misfortune.
Your share, way more than your share, dude.
I make these words my pledge to you. Never again.
Let's see how long that lasts, how many hours.
Now I ask you to give your attention to the woman who brought us all here tonight, Joyce Summers.
I don't know, maybe he's gonna blame her or something.
Mr. Mayor, you're dead wrong. This is not a good town. How many of us have lost someone who just
Yes!
disappeared?
Facts! That's so true.
I was supposed to lead us in a moment of silence, but Silence is this town's disease.
Yes. Yeah, run for mayor, Joyce. Announce you're running for mayor. Come on.
This isn't our town anymore. It belongs to the monsters and the witches and the slayers.
Well, don't group them all together. But this is a great speech. I'm loving it.
I say it's time for the grown-ups to take Sunny.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
I say we start by finding the people who did this and making them pay.
And Buffy's concerned, but I am all about it. That is exactly what this community needs to do. It's about time they refuse to just accept the fact that all these kids get killed. The mayor might get revenge on Joyce, though. She's got to be careful now. She just entered the arena, you know? Is this the group right here, or is this someone else? Wait, what? What are we doing here? This better be a good ritual. I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned. I feel like Willow might have gone off the deep end as far as like which... Wait, what? That's the actual symbol! There's no way Willow is involved in this. Unless she doesn't realize like what the cult is that she's a part of. He backs off the second Buffy's there.
We're walking.
Yeah, get lost. I love how Buffy, like, through her reputation, is like someone you can't mess with. That's pretty cool.
And Michael is whatever the boy of which is, plus being the poster child for yuck.
The poster child for yuck. I'm gonna steal that.
Besides, witches didn't do it.
Actually, I think they may have. My research keeps bringing me back to European Wiccan covens.
And witches were definitely involved. Did they commit the actual murders? Possibly not. Maybe someone's killing witches. What about that?
In a book that Willow borrowed. Can you find it?
In fact, that's what I think it is. I think someone is killing witches, and then people are going to assume the witches are doing the killings.
I'm getting sick of the judgment, the innuendos. Is a man not innocent until proven guilty?
Yes, and proven.
Look, everyone expects me to mess up again. Like Oz. I see how he is around me. You know, that steely gaze.
Bro, this is what you get when you do what you did. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Consequences to your actions.
What is this? A doodle? I do doodle. You too.
Okay, lying is not a good option here, Willow. You should know by now.
Step back, stay away from the lockers. This is police business.
Yeah, see, but I don't feel any better with the police, okay? This is all coming from the mayor.
Oh man, it's Nazi Germany, and I've got playboys in
Oh,
my life.
Xander, you're gonna be exposed.
This is a glorious day for principals everywhere.
They got my spells. I was supposed to report to Snyder's office. Oh my god.
Snyder versus the witches. This'll be interesting. What, are they gonna cast a spell and get his hair to grow back?
Excuse me. Playboys, can we turn this...
Xander, I don't think they're looking for Playboy readers here.
Hey, get your grubby custodial hands off that.
Stay back.
Cost $45.
Oh, Cordelia.
The symbol is harmless. I used it to make a protection spell for you. Hey, with Michael and Amy, only now it's broken.
Willow, are you sure it's a protection spell and not something else? Oh, all of Giles's books.
Giles. Willow said she used it in a protection spell. It's harmless, not a big bad.
And why did it not protect those children?
I love the smell of desperate librarians.
Desperate librarian in the morning. That's amazing. Snyder is a fan of movies.
Appropriate material for a public school library. Chess club branching out.
This is not over.
He's getting back for that time Giles threatened him, too.
Did that sentence just make some sense that I'm not in on?
Mother is opposed to the occult. A powerful new group.
Who came up with the lame moo?
That would be the
Joyce.
founder. I believe you call her Mom.
Of course. Couldn't they come up with a better name so it's not moo? I mean, that just sounds ridiculous.
It's a classic adolescent response to the pressures of incipient adulthood.
Okay. Well, I like the way she put that, and I like how she's being understanding.
Oh, honey. I understand.
She seems so nice.
This may be hard for you to accept, but I can do stuff.
Should you be telling your mom?
I mean, the last time we had a conversation about the patriarchal bias of the Mr. Rogers.
Jeez, that does not sound like a fun conversation either.
This is a cry for discipline. You're grounded. Grounded?
What a justification for a punishment for a parent. Trust me, this is a cry for discipline.
Oh, I'm not acting out. I'm a witch. I can make pencils float.
I wouldn't be telling her this. I think this is a mistake.
And I'm dating a musician. Oh, Willow.
That upsets her more than anything else.
Do you see any goats around? No, because I sacrificed them. Or Satan will not listen to
It's kind of funny.
Come fill me with your black, naughty evil. That's enough!
I wouldn't even joke like that at all if you're an actual witch, Willow.
I don't want you hanging out with those friends of yours. It's clear where this little obsession came
Oh,
from.
come on. If you're barely involved in her life, you really don't have a place to talk about her friends.
I don't want you seeing that Willow anymore.
Okay. Joyce, you were doing so well.
He'll get most of them back. Moo just wants to weed out the offensive
Okay.
material.
Joyce, how can you be this dumb, though?
If we're gonna solve this, we need those books now.
Sweetie, those books have no place in a public school.
Joyce, how about you give your daughter a little credit for being the Slayer and saving the world for how long? You're brand new to this.
Evil pops up, you undo it, and that's great. But is Sunnydale getting any better? Are they running out of vampires?
No, but the world didn't get destroyed.
You don't have a plan. You just react to things. It's bound to be kind of fruitless.
I feel like you don't really know what you're talking about, though.
I have to go on one of my pointless patrols and react to some vampires. If that's all right with Moo. A nice acronym, Mom.
I mean, come on, Joyce.
Just trying to make things better.
She is. She really is. Oh.
You are.
There's bad people out there.
And we can't sleep.
Not until you hurt them.
What?
The way they hurt us.
Okay, so credit to Joyce, she's not being that dumb. She's under some influence by some magical witch type person, right? I wonder if they were present there, like at that original meeting, or if that was just Joyce. Oh, that's nice. That's nice that in this moment he can just hug her like that.
I've never seen anything like this.
They were children.
Yeah, children is particularly horrifying and might motivate people to jump to action.
My mom said some things to me about being the Slayer. That it's fruitless. No fruit for Buffy.
She's wrong.
Is she? Is Sunnydale any better than when I first came here?
Yes. Objectively, yes.
But I don't really win. The bad keeps coming back.
That's why you just have to keep fighting.
Boy that stuck his finger in the duck.
Dyke. It's another word for damn.
Oh.
I don't know the story at all.
I do know it's important to keep fighting.
Yes. Yes.
I learned that from you.
This is why Angel and Buffy work so well together.
Those kids, their parents.
Finally, Angel's thousands of years of living is like coming together for some great wisdom.
Who said you could interrupt, you stupid youth?
This is me when I'm trying to figure out editing problems all the time.
Well, they were found in the park.
No. Where do they go to school? Who are their parents? What are their names? We know everything about their deaths.
Okay, that's crazy. Who are the police investigating? That's like 101 casework.
And if no one knows who they are, where did these pictures come from?
It's a setup. It's all the mayor.
How is this possible?
There's no mention of who they were.
They've never been seen alive, just dead. A lot.
This is what they do. This is what they do.
Mom, I see what you're doing. You're challenging me, but I will not have you communicating with your cyber...
You didn't even look at the screen. She could have been watching Netflix.
It seems I've been rather close-minded.
So, you believe me?
I believe you, dear.
That's not a good thing.
Now all I can do is let you go with love.
Let me go? What does
Yeah,
that
what
mean?
does that mean?
Mom?
How evil is Willow's mom gonna be?
That some regional stories have actual, very literal antecedents.
And in some language that's English?
Yeah, dumb it down for us, Giles, please. You're using the fancy words.
And then she and probably dozens of others are persecuted by a righteous mob. It's happened all throughout.
That's not the version of Hansel and Gretel I heard, but that's crazy.
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go trade my cow in for some beans.
That's actually pretty funny. That was a good off-the-cuff, like, reference and joke.
What happened?
I was attacked.
Officially not funny.
By whom?
His friends, they're taking people out of their homes.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Down at City Hall, they got Amy.
This is like modern-day witch hunts. That's literally what this is.
Go where? I said get your coat, witch.
Okay, Willow's mom is officially evil. Pure evil. I am sure she's being influenced by the, demon ghost Hansel and Gretel, but still.
Mom, we need to talk to you. Now.
Well, of course, honey.
Joyce, you better listen to reason.
Look, there's more to this than we...
Jeez.
You have to stop them. You have to make them go away.
Buffy's seeing them now, right? Literal burning?
No!
This is so medieval and vicious. Plus, why would you do it in your own house? You're gonna burn your own house down, you lunatics.
This is crazy, Mom.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Cordelia was the one slapping him? Did not expect that.
I came over here to tell Buffy to stop this craziness and found you all unconscious. How many times have you been knocked out anyway?
A good question.
I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
Wake up in a...
Yeah, don't even bother.
Now, let's be clear. The brain damage happened before I hit you.
Oh, Cordelia.
Now, really, why should you guys have all the fun? We want to be part of the hate.
Just so we're clear, you guys know you're nuts.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of badass that he said that, though.
Mom, you don't want this.
Since when does it matter what I want? I wanted a normal, happy daughter.
Jeez, that's gotta hurt, even though she's influenced by the demon children.
Thanks.
I think Willow's mom is not even possessed, so I think she's just always this crazy.
Oh, you too, Joyce. We should stay close, have lunch.
Yeah, lunch after burning our kids. Always a good activity.
Before thee, let the unclean thing crawl!
What? Don't get killed as a rat. Escape.
She couldn't do us first. You've seen what we can do? What are you gonna do? Put a pencil on him?
A really big power.
Not a good person to bluff.
It's about lifting a veil. It should make the demons appear in their true form, which with any luck will...
Oh, what are they gonna actually look like?
It doesn't look like a toad.
No reason it should. It's from inside the toad.
Dang, that fire is close.
Mom, dead people are talking to you. Do the math.
I love that line. Dead people are talking to you, do the math. I feel like it's very symbolic burning books around them, right? Come on, Cordelia. Nice! She didn't even hesitate.
You must convince the RYYZN. Das Böse soll... Das Böse tragen.
You like that, huh?
Cordelia talking trash.
Cordelia, put out the fire!
she's enjoying like knocking the people down too much. Okay, let's see their true form here. It's one creature? Yeah, not so childlike.
I think I like the two little ones more than the one big one.
Yeah, Joyce, you messed up.
Did I get it?
I hope so. You got something.
Did I get it?
We're here to save you.
Better late than never, and the effort is still admirable.
She forgot everything?
No, she remembered the part where I said I was dating him.
Oh, of course, that's what she takes from this whole thing. Is she gonna be stuck as a rat?
Maybe we should get her one of those wheel thingies.
Oh, that's an amazing ending. That's hilarious. I mean, hopefully they could rescue her somehow, but that was the perfect way to end that episode. All right, so that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3, Episode 11. I loved it. I love this episode. And, you know, like anyone who has watched any of my previous reactions, like, you know how I feel, like how I usually prefer those episodes that really tie into the larger storyline. And this one felt more like those old school kind of a one-off story episode. But in my opinion, I don't know what it is about the category of witches, but ever since Season 1, the episode Witch, I mean, the witch storylines are just so compelling, and this one was no different. I mean, first of all, there were so many like twists and turns that happened. Like this almost feels like a two-part episode, even though this was just one episode, because there's so many like different levels of the storytelling and different progression and like beats that were addressed throughout. But I was just very, very impressed. I mean, first of all, I think it's a pretty genius misdirection, and Joss has done some pretty good misdirection throughout the show so far, but this one stands out as particularly strong because I feel like everyone's natural response when you see children is to protect them, to empathize. Like, children represent innocence and value and community coming together more than pretty much anything, at least in my opinion. And it's such a powerful way to motivate people to jump into action. So it's actually very, very clever that the demon like hides behind the guise of being those children. But even from the very beginning, like the last thing on my mind when they found those children killed was that the children themselves could be the monsters manipulating them. And I think that's because that mask of hiding behind children is pretty genius. So props to this demon for showing some intelligence. Props to Joss Whedon for that twist, because I doubt, and let me ask people, anyone who watched this remembers the first time they saw this episode, especially in the first act of this episode, you know, before we see the kids, you know, next to Joyce, who thought when they discover those kids' bodies had any apprehension towards the children themselves? I bet it's a very, very small percentage of the people watching this for the first time. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I really like that we got to spend more time with Joyce this episode, and they handled what they did with her character really well, because it felt so believable. But, you know, from that initial meeting, I mean, I was really excited. I really loved how Joyce, and I actually see in that moment, I actually see some of Buffy for the first time, if that makes sense, because it's something I've never really thought of, but Joyce and Buffy, personality-wise, seem very, very different. But when Joyce kind of like took over and contradicted the mayor and gave that type of speech, I saw some of the leadership and the inspiration that Buffy has herself. And it was just cool to see Joyce speaking up against the injustice and saying, like, silence is the problem with this town. And I think she's exactly right. I mean, obviously it led to some terrible things, but it was cool because it was a cool moment for Joyce's character, in my opinion, where she's stepping up and voicing, you know, things that are horribly wrong with Sunnydale and kind of calling out the elephant in the room, which I think is true. Like, the community of Sunnydale is so blind to the constant death, especially of children. And then it was also cool because it complicated the plot, you know, having Joyce's mother starting Moo, you know, this organization, which obviously ended up being a horrible, destructive thing. But by making it, you know, Buffy's mother, not only does it maximize the story drama, which of course is good, but it really shows something that is so integral to the character of Joyce. And I also think is something that many parents can relate to, or even, you know, kids can relate to their parents doing this to them. And that is, you know, a parent can oftentimes come in with the best of intentions and try to do something, or any type of movement, honestly, you know, can try to do something for good. And from a place of real passion, real emotion, real empathy, a real desire for change. And how many times are those organizations, whether they're funded by corrupt people, or they're twisted, or you know, the parent tries to get involved in their kid's life in an inappropriate way. But so many times, like, those good intentions don't lead to good results. But by like carrying us along that journey, starting with the inspiration for that idea of Joyce discovering the bodies, like, it really helped you live through that emotional ride and understand like how easy it is for someone to be manipulated that way when they really just want to make a change for the better. And how there's just that impossible gap sometimes. And I'm sure, I mean, I can definitely relate to this. I'm sure a lot of people, I think it's just one of those age-old parent-child dynamics where you can have a parent who has great intentions and loves their child, but just doesn't understand something about them in a real fundamental way, whether it's they don't understand their career, doesn't understand their you know, their passion in life, or their partner, you know, whatever it is. I think they're those loving parents who want to accept their kid, they want to help, they want to get involved, but because whatever it is their kid is involved in, it's so different from the parent's own experience that the parent trying to help oftentimes just makes it worse. Or maybe they don't make it worse, but you just fail to quite fully connect. You know, I mean, for me, I can just easily understand it. You know, if you're working a job that you understand and then someone shows up and they're trying to help sometimes like they really need to work the job a little bit themselves oftentimes to really understand what, even as you explain things to them. And I think that happens so oftentimes when parents try to communicate with their kids and kids try to communicate with their parents, So I just like that. I like that portrayed. I like the symbolism. You can really relate the events of this episode to real life. But that's just kind of one half of the symbolism. I feel like there's a whole other thing with like witches. I mean, this episode was essentially a modern day witch hunt. And I think it was really cool because they modernized it in a way, and I feel like they showed by like showing how the modern community could easily be stirred up and then leading to like just rounding up kids and going through people's personal stuff, and just how quickly that could happen, but in a modern setting. I feel like that kind of gives a glimpse to imagine back in the day when the witches were actually burned alive, and there's all this superstition and fear. I mean, this is in a modern society where they have so much more information and sophistication and just basic knowledge, basic human decency in a lot of regards. Imagine back in some of the Middle Ages and back when witches were actually being killed, when people were so ignorant and information was so inaccessible to so many people. Like, I think that by putting it in this more modern time period, it's very easy to kind of understand how rampant that type of ignorance could just lead to mass murder and destruction. So that was also really, really cool. Like seeing that modern day witch hunting and just kind of seeing like what can easily happen when you have a mob of people, whether they have good intentions or not, that can easily lead to just killing people off out of fear and ignorance. And then Willow and her mom, that's very interesting. I mean, getting a glimpse of Willow and her mother, I get bad vibes from the mom, and trying to burn Willow alive was not a good first impression, but I can just say right now, I'm not a fan. Willow's mom gets a big thumbs down from me, but I do like that we get to see some time with her and I also really like those moments where Willow was talking to Buffy, and Buffy's complaining about Joyce, saying, oh, she's doing this, she's getting involved in my life, she doesn't know what she's doing, which are all valid kind of complaints that this episode really addressed thematically. But even with all of that, like Willow is almost jealous in a way, because ultimately Joyce does care and she is involved in her life. And I guess that's a question I'll kind of pass off to you. Would you rather have a parent who cares about you and tries to help and gets involved, but ends up embarrassing you and kind of complicating things and maybe being annoying? Or would you rather have a parent who just doesn't care at all? For me, it's a pretty easy choice. I think that having a parent who actually doesn't care, has indifference towards you as a child, that's a deeply painful thing. And so for me, as messy and complicated, and you might roll your eyes when your parent doesn't understand you the right way or just makes a mess of things, I think the alternative could be much, much worse. There are parents, as sad as it is, who don't care about their children, are not involved in their lives. And that's why I really like how Willow, when Buffy is complaining about Joyce, Willow is kind of like, I wish I knew what that felt like. I think that is very true. But let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. Let me know if you like this episode too. I was a big fan of it. It just stood out to me as kind of a single one-off storyline that was just really, really strong, really, really enjoyable. Thank you as always to everyone for watching along. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch the full reactions of Buffy or future episodes, check out my Patreon. That's the best way to support. And as always, remember, be active, be mindful, and be a hero.